We're going live. We're going live.
Podcast is live, ladies and gentlemen.
It is live. Excellent. Fantastic. Hello, hello, hello. Let me just jump on here and start it because, we have to find the right page.
It's very
Talkin
true.
Mess. Oh, no, actually, we don't do it on... We do it on my page. Here we go. It is live. Oh, there's me. No. Hello, hello, hello. Okay, so
What
hashtag
episode
Talkin
are we
Mess.
on? What
Huh?
episode
We
are we on?
are on episode hashtag 23.
23.
Psh, psh, psh.
Do you
How
know
cool is
that it's been just over a year since we first started Talkin Mess?
Oh my
Came-
gosh, really?
Yeah, it came up on my Facebook memory. I think yesterday, day before.
Okay.
So yeah, it's been like legitimately just over 12 months. So congratulations.
Well, congratulations to you as well.
Thank you.
Thank you to everybody who watches. We appreciate it.
We do. Big shout out to you guys. It wouldn't be what it is without those who listen and some people that get things from it. Awesome. Big shout out to you. But those people who just tune in to hear us talk a whole lot of mess, big shout outs to you too. So we thank everyone.
People get a lot of our helpfulness out of our mess, I have to say.
This is very true. This is definitely what I've heard, and the comments and things afterwards definitely have shown and reflect that people do get a lot out of it, whether it's the seed that's planted and it takes a while for it to kick in, or if it's like legitimately on the spot that they get something from it. So big shout out to everyone, and thanks for those who've been rocking with us from the jump. So big props and shout out to you guys.
So make sure you know the deal, the drill. Share, tag.
Molly, what's going on?
Hello, it's Molly. Hello. Let me just. Is that me or you?
What?
That was just making that noise. Okay.
What noise is that?
Well, like noise in the background. Hello, Bronwyn. Happy that you're here. We've mixed it up a little bit because, we don't want you to get bored. So normally it's on a Sunday, but we had some things and some stuff and some whatever and, that thing and whatever.
Yep.
So we have changed it up just a little bit for a Monday.
Mm-hmm.
So happy that you are here. Appreciate you being here. Appreciate you watching. So make sure you leave us comments if you have any questions. Tag your friends, share it, like it.
Do all that.
If you're watching the replay, hello and welcome. Hello. Again, tag, share, and like. So what's been going on? What's been doing? It's been like a quick minute since we've done it.
It legitimately feels like it's been a while, but yeah. So obviously we do it on Sundays, but from my end, I had the worst migraine yesterday. Legit, from the time I woke up, it was just there. I was feeling sick, all this other kind of trash mess. So yeah, we pushed it tonight, just for that makeup session, and then we can kind of go from there.
Okay.
How was your weekend?
Oh, it was such a long time ago. It was really good.
All of it that way.
That was yesterday. Oh my God! It feels like forever time ago, but it's not.
A little bit.
And because it's a public holiday. Oh, my hair looks like it's crazy. It's a public holiday in Canberra today, and so hello, Miss Natalie. So it's a public holiday. So we're just completely thrown out because it actually feels like it's still the weekend, because obviously Monday should be a work day, but it's a holiday. So it's like, you know what? It's going to completely throw everything out because what we're used to, they've taken today, which is great. Ain't nobody complaining about it being a holiday, let me tell you.
True. And why is it a holiday?
Because it is Reconciliation Day and the ACT leads the country in terms of actually doing something. I think that people just like a public holiday, so let's be real about that. However, the ACT had a Reconciliation Day where there was lots of small humans running around. COVID went out the window because there was like 1,000 people there. So let's hope that none of us or
Yeah,
anyone to Melbourne.
that Dan Andrews don't come down.
That's it. Yeah, no, I hope nobody had been anywhere near Melbourne or Adelaide or wherever the hell else everybody's got it. So we went and had, and then there was free food. Ain't nobody going to line up with 9,000 other people to get a free sausage. Like we were like, you know what? We're not going to stand in line for an hour. We're just going to call into the shop on the way home. We bought sausages, come home, cooked them ourselves. I tell you what, it was just, right. I'm here for thinking. We were like, no, we're not going to do that. So that was a little bit fun. Saw some people, had some conversations, just enough to be like, yeah, no, I'm done now. You didn't want to be doing like too much socializing in the day because, again, ain't nobody want to be doing like too much socializing. So that was a good day. Leaving the house, communicating with others, the requirements for good health, good mental health. We covered off all the bases. We added in sausage sandwiches for good measure. There you go.
For those that don't know what reconciliation means, why don't you give us a quick spiel for that?
So basically, I think, was it yesterday or the day before, or it might have been Friday, it's on your page, the anniversary of Uncle Kevin Rudd apologising for the stolen generation. And reconciliation comes out of that because it's about moving forward. Now, for a whole lot of Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people, their stance is we have nothing to reconcile because we were here first. We didn't ask for this. Like we don't want a bar of it. That's fine. It's your journey. Knock yourself out. My stance is always that we are here together and we need to move forward together in partnership while not forgetting about what's happened, but acknowledging that there is the ability for us all to learn from the past so that we don't repeat it and to be able to move forward. We have this conversation at so many different points along the year where people say, why can't you just move on? Why can't you forget it? And it's exactly the same as if Anzac Day, they say, lest we forget. So we don't forget our Anzacs, but we want to forget everything else that happened in this country that wasn't so great. And the other thing about saying sorry, National Sorry Day, which reconciliation was a part of, a whole lot of people, what was that Prime Minister? John Howard, his whole thing as well was, well, why do I have to say sorry? Because I didn't do it. Well, bruh, you were a part of a government, so you toe that same government line. The other part of that is that, when somebody passes away and you say, I'm so sorry for your loss.
Yeah.
You say that because you acknowledge the pain that somebody is going through based on what it is that they are currently going through now, but also what's happened in the past.
Sure.
You don't say, well, I didn't kill them, so I'm not going to say sorry. You don't say that when somebody passes. You don't go, well, I'm not going to say sorry because I didn't kill them.
Yeah.
So that whole notion around, oh, I can't say sorry because I didn't do it. Well, no, but you acknowledge that people are still in pain from that. And so the acknowledgement allows people to be seen so that then when we're seen, we can go, I actually have a place here. But this whole rhetoric around, well, I don't have to say sorry. And, of course, we had a Prime Minister who believed that, that whole, I'm not saying sorry. So he literally set it up so that the country could fly that same flag.
Yeah.
And it's like that same thing. So we can not forget the Anzacs because they're very important, but forget everything else that happened because ain't nobody want to go there with that. And it's like, that's the analogy that I do. We're the first to say that. I'm so sorry for your loss. I'm so sorry that you're hurting and stuff. You know, we don't say, like I said, I'm not saying sorry because I didn't kill him, so I don't care that you're in pain. Like,
Yeah.
I don't, like, you don't ever, they would be like, why are you being an a-hole right now? You know, like, why are you being that person? You know, so it's always interesting. So moving forward, it's about how can we allow people to be seen, to be heard, and to be acknowledged. And Australia has the whole oldest history in the whole entire world. Like, y'all should be so excited that we're older than like the pharaohs, we're older than the pyramids. Like, you know, like they were sending over here when they got there. They were sending over here for how you fellas do what you do.
Mm. Yeah, like our markings on us and stuff like that were uh, found in like pyramids and tombs and stuff over there. So,
That's
yeah,
exactly
like
right.
exactly what you said. Like if we don't acknowledge the past, then um, and like don't acknowledge and learn from it, like the past, we're bound to what's that?
Destined
Those
to
who,
repeat it.
that's the one. Those who don't learn from the past are destined to repeat it. So it's definitely that. Like regardless, good or bad. Like I think in like just in general, if we don't acknowledge it and learn from it, and then
That's,
put those in steps into action, we're doomed to repeat it.
That's exactly right. And it's not about people feeling guilt. It's about acknowledging it to go, wow, that's happened. Let's make sure that that doesn't happen again. Exactly the same as the policies that are put in place around, you know, there was a time when a woman got married, not so long ago, when a woman got married, she had to leave her job because she couldn't hold down a job and be married at the same time. Because as soon as she said, I do, any brain capacity that she had went out the window. So she had to stay home, have babies, and cook dinner. Like, so that it was not that long ago that happened. And we don't go, let's never talk about that.
Yeah,
You know, we don't go, oh no, we don't, not even going to mention that. Like, I wasn't there. I didn't have a part of that policy. That's not even a thing. We go, let's make sure that we have affirmative action in place so that women can actually have a seat at the table. Let's look at women's only positions and boards and all that sort of stuff so that we can help women to be able to have a voice. So that's what we do. So for some things we're all like, let's go, have at it. Like, we're just going to make this happen. You know, disabilities, the same sort of thing, LGBTIQ plus, like all of it, like those, we're like, let's do a thing. Like, but then certain pockets of the community, you go, oh
yeah,
no, oh no, look, we're not. And again, it's not about guilt. It's about, let's have the conversation to go, how do we bring this up so that we're not angry, you're not guilty. We can then move forward together to go, let's make this world a better place so that everybody's happy. Like, that's what I want. I want this world to be a happy place for everybody. And if I'm not in my happy place, I can't help you to be in your happy place.
this makes sense.
You know, so like, let's all get to a happy place.
Makes sense.
That's what I'm thinking. Like, what are people's comments? What do you think? What's happening? Are
Yeah,
you on Instagram?
no,
Hello? Why aren't you not on Insta? Like, really? You have one job.
bro,
We actually had more than one, but that was an important one.
relax. But yeah, that means I got to set up the TV.
Hey?
So that means I got to set up the TV though,
Why do you have to set up the TV?
because it looks trash on the computer.
Oh, okay. Well, that's just too messy.
Yeah, it is.
And you are going to move it out of the road of the camera, aren't you?
Yeah, no, I'm done.
Okay. Forget it.
I'll just upload it to the gram.
Right.
But yeah, like it's. I think that's exactly what it is. Like it's if we don't learn from it, then we're just in that ever continuing cycle where it'll be, we start to get a little bit different, and then it's like we'll loop back around, and then we start at the beginning, and it will take all this time, and then it will loop back around. So having an understanding about it, and doing your own research, obviously for those who you can reach out to, like have that conversation about like just anything. I wouldn't say most, but again, like there are some pockets of black people that will definitely have that open conversation and talk to like real about it. With one of the reasons why we do this podcast is so that we can get it out there, like whether whatever it is. So it's not too many people can come from a place of it not hurting. Like some people can have that conversation where let's bring everything to the table. Yeah, I may get a little bit hurt, but knowing that this is where I come from, you want to learn about it, I want to teach about it, so that way there's no like um, animosity between like the two parties. It's both coming together and be like, look, I just genuinely want to know more. Um, and then like I think that's how we heal that. Like we talk about that we want a seat at the table, and like that's cool, but like there's conversations that happen before we get to the table. It's having those conversations on the floor, and like then you work yourself up to the table. So it's understanding that yeah, we want to be at the table, but having an understanding that there is steps before we get to the table where you can have those conversations. Even if you don't know anyone, like you can jump on like the University of YouTube, like get on top of it. Like YouTube has everything. University of Google now, so like get on there. You can Google anything. So just and then always firsthand if you can go and actually talk to someone and sorry days and those type of things and reconciliation week and just any kind of event. Like if you can reach out to someone, obviously for black people, understand that it does get super tiring, super draining. So having that understanding and just being like, bro, I just want to learn, tell me some things. Most people, black people, are okay, cool, this is what we do, this is what we don't do, this is why that is, this is the repercussions of what happened before. So it's understanding that understanding the ripple effect of the stolen generations and things like that. Sorry day, and it's while all these things are great and good, understanding like yeah, we still have a little bit of animosity, and this is why. Is it going to take like your generation? Is it going to take my generation? We don't know. Like what we're constantly trying to move that needle in the right direction each and every day, working for that 1% better. After a year, that's 365. After two, so on and so forth. My maths is horrible, but you know, just trying to move that needle in the right direction every single day.
Absolutely, absolutely, and thankfully there are my hair's doing weird things. Thankfully there are people around who you can talk to. Like that's the whole, that's the whole point of part of the reason why we do this as well is to take the charge away from it.
Yeah,
So that there's not so much of that whole, oh my God, I can't ask that. Oh my God. Now that doesn't give you free fall and permission to be an a-hole because that's just no
facts.
facts. That's right. But there
Understand.
is a space for you to come and respectfully ask those questions without your head being bitten off, unless,
Yeah.
of course, again, you are a racist a-hole, and then we will literally.
Damn, that's when you may need your head knocked off.
That's right. Yeah, be like knock off. So these are the opportunities that you have to be able to have these conversations with us in this space. So if you don't want to ask it here, reach out because we're
Yeah,
open to that
definitely.
kind of stuff
Like
because we're happy to help.
yeah, 100%. Like and most of my well, everyone, but all my girls know that they can come to me for anything, like any kind of question. So this topic is not offline either. Like when all this stuff happens, if you have questions, like reach out. Like I have questions for all my people that come through, but there've definitely been some who I actually need to have like hard conversations about areas where I just didn't know about, and it wasn't coming like I was just looking for knowledge. I just had no understanding. So I would come to people who was subject matter experts.
That was a
Subject
mouthful.
matter
Subject matter expert. That's correct. You're right. You're right.
SMEs for short. That's way better. So who were SMEs in that area, and it was again like I came to the table with an understanding of I don't know anything about this, So learn me what you know, so that I can at least go away with something, even if it's how to be more inclusive, how to like do this and that. What's the right thing to say? What's the wrong thing to say? Like, you know. And I
Yeah.
think that's something that we like. If you come from that kind of place, regardless of what it is, and even if like obviously if you ask the wrong question, there's going to be that stop. I
Mm.
know where this is going. I'm going to cut you off there because if you cross that line, we're going to cross that line. But having that understanding, like some people just don't know.
Mm.
So, like if you come from a place of that, if they do ask and like one of those questions, you can be like, okay, that's what we don't do.
Yep.
Uh, you get a pass for this one time. If you say it again, I'm going to punch you in the throat.
Because we ran a training earlier on last week, and having those conversations about this is a safe space to ask those questions. And you don't know these things if I don't tell you. So, like, if you're saying something, I will let you know. So, somebody said, as we were going around the circle doing the introduction, somebody said, "Oh, I'd really like to find out about Antsy people." And I said to her, "Okay, so we don't use people as an acronym." So we don't say Antsy, but we say Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people because the government, I know that it can be tiring to say Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander because that takes a whole of 2 seconds.
It takes a whole lot of extra 4 to 8
Oh,
syllables.
that's right. And I know that government has that in their policies and documents that it gets abbreviated. And again, it shouldn't because it's not that hard to type it out. You particularly because you have like predictive text, so you can do it. Anyway, so um, so Bronwyn said, "What I've found is a lot of people are willing to learn. You just have to." What
So,
I found is a lot of people are willing to teach. You just have to want to learn. Absolutely right.
yeah,
Couldn't get my brain was going. No, Karen. And so then I said that to and then this other guy was talking and stuff, and he was like, "Oh yes, so my partner is not from here. She's from somewhere else. Uh, and yeah, some people from her community and stuff, they're half caste. And it's like, no,
yeah,
so again, we don't use that languaging. They might be okay with it, but if you haven't heard them say it, which I doubt you would, because nobody does, we don't say that sort of stuff. And so it was just really, it was a really because his partner wasn't from here, and so it was a really different conversation to have because he was talking about my wife, she hasn't had, or my partner, she hasn't had any problems with racism and stuff. And it's like, is she Aboriginal? No. Is she Torres Strait Islander? No. Well then, but she's from, not from here, she's from an island, and but she's not Aboriginal or Torres Strait Islander. So the chances of her having that level of racism in like Townsville I think it was Townsville, is quite different. And then he was like, he's like, so I'm just wondering, because like our child is really dark and they're going to grow up, and I'm just concerned about how much racism like my child might be.
a lot.
But he pulled out a photo and he was like, so this is my child. I was like, oh, I was expecting this really dark child. There were 3 kids on the little rides that you go on in the supermarket, in the shops and stuff, the little pig stuff. I had to ask which was his child because they were all fair. I'm just like, okay, which is your little? They were literally fairer than me, and I'm just like, so you're
Pretty
thinking
hard.
that
Pretty hard to do.
I know, right? Because like I'm just like pale, like I don't go out in the sun in the summer because I burn.
Oh,
It's just
no.
so it's that whole. And I said to him, which one's your little tiny human? He's like, well, there, can't you tell how dark it is? And I'm like, no, I don't think it's going to be an issue for you because,
Yeah.
like, it's not. It's just, I was just like, but again, that whole the lens in which he was seeing the world was almost like he wanted the difference to be there, that separation and stuff, as opposed to it being. what most of the community have been through. It was about, well, she's not from here, but she's been through the same sort of stuff, but she hasn't, because and it's like, there was a bit of education going on. I earned my money that day because I had to have lots of conversations and stuff about stuff.
Yeah, I remember, Nan telling stories like about how bad it was for her, and like the teachers actually making her change her name because her name was too good for a black girl. So it's that, and understanding that you know my old people have to have like their papers, and just having that, and like understanding that that's where we come from.
Oh, yes, a great thing that you just brought up, because I was thinking about this today, right? What if, just like get ready for your mind to be blown, right? Because what if our old people had to bury their trauma and their stuff to be able to survive? And part of our requirement is that we have to dig it up so that we can heal it, so that the next generation don't have to dig because we've already uncovered it. Like I was thinking, because
That's pretty good. Like that's odd. I think that's a solid question. Like, yeah, I definitely see how that could be a window of possibility, because if we look at the fact, if we're going back, it's stated and it's documented that black people actually, if they wanted a job or if they wanted to get any form of income, they actually had to have papers, and you had to renounce pretty much about being black. Everyone who's watching, if you were to go on to Google and you actually had to look up, like there was a piece of papers. I'm not sure, did Daddy George have it? Did he have papers, or was he a little bit too young for that?
he didn't have papers.
Okay, well, it must have been his mum and dad, his pop, those kinds of things. So, like it's in our family tree, So having an understanding, that's where it is. But I think that's tough. Like what you were saying, like that question. Obviously, they would have tried to bury it, and they would have tried to get on with the best way that they know possible, whether that's drugs and alcohol, whether that shows up and manifests in different things, domestic violence and all these other stuff. I think that's fair. Like I think it's a hype. It could be a possibility.
It was just because it got me thinking. So Tammy just wrote a comment, so I'll just read it out. It's on Facebook. I'll read it out. I have a new microphone. Can you tell? So Tammy said, even me as a Maori, I don't get the level of racism over here as Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people do. So whilst I know racism, it's not the same level, not the stereotyping type of thing that I've seen here towards Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people. And Tammy, absolutely, you would know what it's like, being Maori. And I don't know how long you've been here in Australia or if you're still over there. The differences between almost like the accepting of the culture and the pride in it. Like we have pride around certain food. We have pride around certain things that we like. But we don't have pride around too much stuff. Like we can't have too much pride around things. So we'll take what works for us, but we'll leave, a lot of the other stuff because we don't want to go there with that.
Yeah.
But I'm just, because I was thinking about that today in terms of, each of our generations, and we talk about generational trauma. That's my specialty. And so talking about that, it's almost, and I was thinking about to survive a time like that, the strength that they had, pretty much all they could do was bury it.
Yeah, what else could you do back
What else
when?
could you do? That's exactly right. Or you can bury it. So it just makes sense now that we are at a space where what else can we do but to dig it up? Like it's up to us now to bring it up and heal it to a level so that your generation doesn't have to go through the heavy lifting of the digging it up. That's on us. We're the ones that need to do that so
Yeah,
that you don't have to do that same heavy lifting, so that your kids don't have to do that same
yeah,
heavy lifting. Because at some point we have to stop with the heavy lifting.
yeah,
And so, I mean, I don't know that I was just thinking about that in terms of, because again, I'm knowing about trauma and how we just push things down because we're literally trying to survive our life.
yeah,
And so what if the only way to survive it was to push it down? And then
yeah,
so now the only way that we can survive this is to dig it back up and heal it because we're more equipped now. We're also, in some ways more open to things, some ways not. Oh, so Tammy said, I've been in Melbourne for 25 years. Oh, Tammy, are you in a lockdown? I feel so sad for you. My heart goes out to you because you're locked down. Hopefully you've gone for lots of walks in the sun. Are you allowed out more than once during the day? I'm not sure. But Tammy says, I've been in Melbourne for 25 years. And yes, we all have so much trauma to heal. So the generations, so that each generation carries less. The buck stops with us.
yeah,
Absolutely. And the more that we do, the more heavy lifting that we do now means that the next generation, the next one that you have to carry is so much less.
yeah,
And you can see within the families those who aren't doing the heavy lifting. And I'm not just talking about Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people now. I'm talking about people across the board. Those people who decide that they're going to do the heavy lifting and digging up stuff to heal it, they're the ones that stand out with doing different things, breaking generational cycles, taking different risks, going down different paths. It's almost like you can literally, within a family, you can pick the person who said, I'm done.
yeah.
Nope.
Fuck it.
Buck
Enough
stops
is
right
enough.
here. This is it.
Yeah, like 100%. Like it's, how I see it is that, it was buried by, Nan and everyone before her. You're digging it back up. You're like, okay, let me work through my stuff, which you did early on in my life. Now you're at a point where it's like, okay, it's been a quick minute in your journey, so that ripple effect has obviously transitioned down to me. So that lineage is like, okay, it stopped. It stopped and started with you, like that stopped with you, but then it's like, okay, this is what's coming next. Obviously, Dad had an immense role to play with me and how that both of your parenting styles are blended, but you know, it was you that did that, and then when he came in, it was looking at it, it was seamless. Like you
Mm.
both went in, understanding that you at the time you both were doing the best that you could. Each and every time that you leveled up, and therefore by just by sheer circumstance, then I would level up too. So understanding that that's where that we continue to rise and say, and like you said, like you can pick in a family who just said, "Fuck it, enough is enough." Like, and you can. The reason why it looks so different from most people is because change is ugly. Like,
Mm.
yeah, you may see it look cool from the outside, but like, change is so goddamn ugly. It's so hard, but you know, the rewards are there for it. It's like everything. You just need to. On some days, it's gonna defeat you and it's gonna knock you down, but you just get up and then take that small baby step that next time. So
Mm.
it's and that
Absolutely.
running it back to what you said. Like I
Mm.
love it. I love that. I love that question. I love that thought and statement for sure.
Because one of the things that I've been thinking about over the past week is because, running uh, running my business, the TLMC Institute, and how it's just been pretty much me. So we're like a little Ma and Pa kettle kind of turnout. And then having those conversations to go, actually, what would it look like if we bring somebody else in to help? And the expanded thinking and the way in which our thinking is now just getting different from just those different conversations. That's where that change happens, those getting around people to have different conversations. And that whole, that saying that says, oh, if you're the smartest person in the room, then you need to be in a different room. And, if you're the smartest people of your 5 friends, you need more friends or whatever.
I believe it.
And it's actually true, because having these different conversations have just been so almost mind-blowing, because we're just used to doing the thing. Like we were doing the thing. Like we just show up and we do the thing. Like that was just it. We don't have the capacity. We didn't have the capacity to see other possibilities up here, because we were just so focused on doing the thing. And getting around somebody else who said, well, you could be doing this, and what about this? And have you thought about this? And it's like, no, because we haven't, because we didn't even know that was a thing.
Yeah,
and so it's all, well, that's right. But the exciting thing about the change is when you decide to make that decision and go, yes, I want to play a bigger game, the universe will meet you at that place. And for the last week, I have been in awe of how, when we get brave and step up, the universe says, boom, that's it.
Yeah, 100%. 100%.
The universe is not going to go, oh, well, I'll look while you're sitting on the lounge there, but I'm going to send you this thing. Okay. Just, you need to get off the lounge. You need to go there. And then that thing will come to you. So Miss Tammy has a comment. So she says, the same with our beliefs around money. I own a business. I was always told to get a good job, keep my head down, ass up. And, but I know that I'm teaching my kids there are other ways, working smarter, but not harder. So they won't carry the belief that you can only succeed if you work your ass off through life. And it's so true. Like, it's just that whole, and that when you're having conversations with people, thank you for the comment, that's amazing. You can always tell when you're having conversations with people who go, oh, well, you have to have security. I mean, like, you can't do that. Like, what's it going to look like? Oh my God, like, do you even know? And it's like expand the opportunity for what happens in your brain when you go, I'm going to do it different. I'm going to try it and stuff. And so I would suggest that anybody find an opportunity to go and have completely different conversations with people than you're having right now. Again, 100%. like you said, YouTube. Even if you listen to other people and go, I have no idea what they're even talking about. Like, I don't even know. I need to Google that word because I don't even know what it means. Like, that's okay, because you're expanded to go, oh, wow, I didn't thought of that.
Yeah. Like, I've been listening. I've been on Clubhouse for a little bit. We both have been. But, listening to the likes of billionaire Grant Cardone, who, like I just said, he was a billionaire. So his level of thinking and his way of thinking, completely different to us mere mortals. Like, we couldn't possibly think about riding off a G6 airplane for tax purposes. But this man's making like $1 billion moves and all this kinds of stuff. So he's at that level where it's viable. Like, we wouldn't even, for the life of me, I couldn't even I don't even know where I would start to get a plane, even higher one, But it's about, once I've heard like him speak a couple of times, it's like, okay, this is for at the level that I'm at right now. This is what could work, So even if you listen to people that you just can't stand, there's always things that you can take, like. If you say something that I don't agree with, I can take that. Be like, I don't agree with it. This is why. So therefore, I double down on myself and my beliefs. But if you come with a good argument, it's like, okay, well, I'm at a place where I can hear hear your side of the story. I definitely may not agree with it, but hey, we can go our separate ways once we've finished.
That's right.
But if that's all you know, and you're talking to them same people that's in your crew and in your clique, and there's no excuse me, there's no outside fresh air. Like, what happens when you go to a room and you have the heater on the whole time, and there's like no windows, no fan on, like just that heater. That room fogs up. It's the whole like same crusty air that's getting recirculated. It smells like ass because you've been farting socks everywhere and all this here. But once you get that new, open up some new windows and get some new different breezes in and stuff like that, things start to take a little bit of a change. And that's when you're like, oh, okay, I can see different things now because you're doing different things.
That's right. So Tammy said that she's unemployable now. Oh, look, I hear you because I'm exactly the same. And then she said, knowledge is power. Implementing on knowledge is what flicks a switch. Absolutely.
Knowledge is king. Knowledge is king.
Absolutely. And even because I've decided here in the ACT, we have this thing called the elected body. So it's the Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander elected body. And basically, it's a group of people within the community who have a portfolio that goes and talks to departments and stuff about how they can support. What are they doing to help Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander staff? What are they doing in the community? Where are we going and stuff? Anyways, I've been here in Canberra for quite some time, and that elected body has been running for about 8 or 9 years now. And so this day, I put in my papers, my election papers, because I'm going to run.
Let's go. Let's go. LeBron James.
And so it doesn't even matter if I lose. Like, it doesn't even matter if I don't get in, because who I was required to be to go, you know what? I'm going to throw on this day. I had to be a different person to actually put my papers in, because you had to get 4 people to nominate you. So you needed 4 signatures. But it was like I had to be brave enough to go, you know what? I'm actually going to throw my hat in the ring, because if I don't, then I have no chance anyways. But it's like, you know what? I'm actually going to put myself in a different space to then have, because it closes tomorrow at lunchtime, and then they do the ballot thing, and then I think you've got like a month when the NAIDOC ball during NAIDOC week is when you vote for it. And so, you've got a campaign. Oh, thank you, Bronwyn. I know, it's so exciting. I don't even know, like, just we have to pick a thing that we're running on. So mine is women's issues, mental health and healing trauma. That's my thing. So I don't have like a little catch cry or anything like that. I need one. So if you can come up with something, that would be awesome. But it's really just about that different. I want to have different conversations. Like, I want to be able to be in a room at the table to have conversations about how do government departments run? What do they do for people in the community? How does that? Oh, thanks, baby girl. Christy said, way to go, Aunt. And so it's just those different conversations, because for me to be able to help take the business to the next level, I need to go to a next level. And I have been literally in my house for the last, I'm going to say year, but let's be real, it's been longer than that.
Let's be real clear. It's been well over a year.
I'm being nice. Right? I know, right? So I have been in my house for quite some time. So it's just about doing those different things.
100%. And like, it's like stepping out of your comfort zone, whatever that looks like, and taking those wins and losses, and then like looking for that silver lining. Like, if you win, like, who knows what's next? But then again, at the same time, like, if you lose, who knows what's next? Like, you could lose, and then you consolidate for a little bit, and then you go up on a rise again. Like, it's always testing that level of resistance this way, and knowing that you can't go back down again. Like, you've hit that support level where that's it forever now. Like, you try and go back to the same person that you were 2-3 years ago, you just can't do it. It would just, honestly, you would rather slit your wrists. I know, because me going back to the same person that I was, 4 or 5 years ago, like, just couldn't do it. But it's taking those wins and losses. Like, me tonight, there was no one who turned up for a class. Like, no one. Literally, absolutely. The gym was hella cold and it was bare, but it's like, okay, cool. What can I do? Like, I can get my own, training in. So, which is exactly what I did. I went and hit weights this morning, and then was able to get some bag time in later today. So, it's taking those wins and losses together. What would have happened if I had a full class? Probably gone through the same way that I've been going. What happened today? I had no one, so it's like, okay, this is shitty, but what can I do? Like, because as a sole business owner, and you would know too, same as Tammy, we can't just rest on the morals here or get our head down too much. It's like, okay, what can we do? What can we do to improve? Okay, obviously I can improve these certain number of things, but this is what I can do for right here, right now. I can invest in myself. I can get an extra training session in, which is exactly what I did. Had one of my girls turn up for the ladies only class, and then I had B at the end. So, it was taking, and it's not even that big of it's not even really a loss. Like, it's a lesson from that. So it's always talking about what can we do, regardless if we win or lose. What can we learn? Because we learn something different, then we can't go back to that same person that we were before the win or the loss.
That's exactly right. And it's always about exactly what you said. It's always about, oh, Natalie said, great work, you got this. Oh, you're just too lovely. I just love you all. I really do.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, like, yeah, big facts. Big love to everyone. But, yeah, big love.
Yeah. And so it's really about, a lot of times we don't stop to look for it because we're too busy being caught up in it.
100%.
So because you could have very easily went the other way going, oh my God, there's nobody here. I can't do this. Nobody likes me. I'm going to fail. Oh my God, I'm going to be homeless. Like, you could have gone through a whole story about a whole story. You could have made it, and then it would have snowballed, and then it would have been something that you would have then attached to you as an identity that, I'm not good at this, or I can't do business, as opposed to go, it was an opportunity. I'm trash. I'm all of those things, which aren't true, because you got your own workout in, and the lesson is there's always tomorrow.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
And then that's the thing. Like, there's tomorrow, and if it happens tomorrow, there's the next day. If it happens for 2 days, there's 3 days after that. Like, you look at, and I like to use basketball as an analogy because that was the first love of my life, right? So, Michael Jordan kept going up against the Detroit Pistons, and he gets swept in the first round a couple of times. Like, he was getting beaten, but it's the same thing. Like, he was like, okay, what can I do? Come the off season, he was in the gym, he was lifting weights, like, he was doing all these things for him to get better. But there was also the extended team, which was like the front office. They were making moves to help Michael out. Then they got Pippen in, then they got Rodman. And then from there, obviously, like, Phil Jackson was in there and stuff like that. But once they had that, they were forced to be reckoned with. Like, and the same thing, like, once I start finding my feet a little bit more and understanding, because I'm only coming on 6 months in, 5, whatever it is.
End of January.
End of January. Okay, so yeah, 5. We're 5 months in, and I'm like, and this was the only time where I've had no one turn up. Like,
and how cold is it in Dubbo today?
Yeah, it's pretty fucking cold.
Yeah, that's right. So we've got a couple of comments. So Tammy said that there needs to be more Indigenous people worldwide at the table. Absolutely. She also said there's always lessons in our wins and struggles. Absolutely. 100% agree with that. And Miss Christie said that the universe has a way of doing things after your migraine yesterday. Absolutely. Oh, the
100%.
universe, she added a bit more. So the universe has a way of doing things. And after your migraine yesterday, you might have needed a slower day to help you recover and look after yourself.
100%. And that's exactly what I did. Like,
Mm.
I went to the gym today. I woke up and I just felt good today. You know,
Mm.
I've been eating a little bit more. I've been testing with my diet, what works for me, like eating more. So I'm probably looking, a little bit more voluptuous than normal, but I'm playing around with that for what works for being able to keep myself at 100 for everyone else that comes to the gym, but also maintaining that level of energy where I can go and hit the gym for 2 times out the day. So,
Mhm.
it's like she was saying, it's all about maybe I needed that. Maybe I didn't. Like, we just don't know. But, understanding that everything's like mathematically worked out to the best possible way for right here, right now, because if it was meant to be any other way, it would have been, but it's not.
Absolutely.
So we need to just, learn that we're always in a state of reaction because everything's um, everything reacts off everything else. Like, you would react off something that happened to Nan, then I would react off you reacting off Nan. Then Christy may react off us reacting off Nan, but then she'd react to, her father reacting off Nan, reacting off you. So, like, you do that for
Everybody's reacting.
like you do that for 7 billion people. You can be like, okay, you can understand and see like that web of connections.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So Tammy said we just need to trust and have faith that it's all for our greater good.
100%.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And if we did that, we would end up, I think, one with a richer experience. We would have a toolbox that is so much more full because we're
Yeah.
able to draw out stuff, and our connections would be stronger. We'd be more present for people. Like, I don't think that there would be anything bad about that because we're all just more aware.
Mm.
Because you can't be aware of what's going on by reflecting and not be aware.
Say that again.
You can't be aware
Mm.
by reflecting and not be aware. Like, by the very nature of you reflecting back on something means that you have to be consciously present
Yeah.
here to then go
Yeah.
here
Yeah.
to then go there. So
Yeah.
you're present here to then go, oh, well, hang on a second. Like, no one came to class today, so therefore I needed some time, and then so then I can bring it back to here to go, okay, so how does this help me right now? How does this help me moving forward? And so it's that whole, so now you are richer from that experience
100%.
because you're just like, okay.
Yeah.
Um,
Definitely not like, and yeah, we can look at richer in so many different ways. Like, I'm richer for the fact that I'm getting back into uh, somewhat of a routine with exercise after doing, the spit phase. And while that was super brilliant, had so many lessons involved, the biggest one was that I was moving away, like it was taking from me rather than giving to me. And I'm just slowly starting to get back to my grind and start loving and filling my cup up with exercise. Was sparring week before last, for the first time in a good while, hella rusty, but it was cool to get back in the ring, see what it felt like to get punched in the face again, and understanding that the level where, yeah, it's weird.
I
It's a
know,
weird
right?
thing.
So nothing about that sentence sounds appealing at all. Getting punched in the face.
Yeah,
Just,
yeah,
it's
but
a
like
guy.
it's yeah. I don't even think it's that
No, it's
like
not a guy because girls do it as well. They like to get punched
yeah.
in the face.
It's just for like obviously for me, it's just a different level of testing myself. So like everyone has that level or has that thing where they look to go into by themselves, so that way that they grow. For me, like going into the army by myself, being the first one, going overseas, and obviously I can't do either of those two things right this second. Wouldn't go back into the army, but I can't travel overseas. But what I can do is put myself in a controlled environment to test myself to see what level that I'm at. Like obviously you would have yours, whatever that looks like. Everyone who's listening here, they would have their own thing that puts them that they go and do to see where they're at. And it's everyone's personal thing. Some people like to write, like to read, like to ride bikes, half marathons, full marathons, ultra marathons. Mine, sparring.
Yeah, absolutely. So Tammy said, so true. I haven't had many clients lately, but I also have a heap of shit going on with my family that needs to be addressed, but I have enough clients to keep me afloat. And that's the whole thing. Like it's
That's the
just,
whole
again,
shit.
being able to go, I know I need to focus somewhere else and the universe is working towards me and I'm not going to drown today. So I can just focus on that.
Yeah,
Like I love that. That is so
so
great. That's
dope.
like,
So dope. Like
that's what we
having
want.
having that understanding, like, is so super brilliant. Like, I'm not one to brag and toot my own horn, but like same kind of thing. Like, if we would go back to lockdown, like I'd have enough money where I'm able to pay my rent. Like, and it's not like I don't want to like toot my own horn here, but I'm same kind of thing with her. Like, she's cool. The universe is doing this. Like, hey, I would love to give you more clients, but instead of focusing here, I'm going to shift you. This is where you need to be, and that's exactly what's happening to me. Like, it's a little bit slow, but that gives me enough time to rest and recuperate, get back in a routine that works for me. Then when I meet the universe at where the universe is at, that's when it's going to give me a little bit more. Like
Absolutely.
the universe was here first. Like that's just not how it works. So you need to meet the universe, and then the universe will give you this. The universe will go to here. I need to rise up to here. We're gonna do a little dance, a little happy dance. It's gonna give me a hug and a kiss, like, bro, I love you where you're at, but I gotta bounce, and then it's gonna shoot up. Like that's how we level up.
That's
So
exactly right.
big props. Just keep doing you. Like it's everything will sort itself out because that's what it does. Like it just the universe sorts us out. However we sort it out, like it sorts us out. So big
That's
love
right.
to you.
Yeah, absolutely. Um, she said, I love both of your mindsets. So awesome to be on the same level. Oh, you're a rock star. We love you. We only have the coolest people on here. So I love it. I love
True,
it here.
true.
Absolutely. So do you have any last comments, questions? Does anybody have a question? Do you have a statement, Aldine?
Yeah.
What are you
Um,
where are we at? What's going on? We're wrapping
um,
it up, but any
yes, I
words?
think if we were to close, like we touched on so many things tonight.
Yeah.
I think if I was to close with something, I guess it would just be um, just back yourself. If we're going, let's start with the first half of this conversation. Like, if we're talking about reconciliation and stuff like that, if you want to know more, obviously there are so many different channels out there. Google, YouTube, so many things like that. But also just being open-minded, and approach someone with a sense of love and care, and be like, hey, look, I don't know where to turn, and I'm like, would you be open to it? Like, so obviously put that emphasis back on them. If they are, awesome. Still come with that love and respect, and then ask those questions with a sense of care, and then move forward, obviously, however that happens. Second part, I guess, like with everything that's going on, just have an understanding that there's really like fuck all that we can have in control. So I like knowing that, like this is what I hope to have in control, right? I wish I could have all this, but really, like I have this much. This is what I can control. Everything else is subject to change at the universe's discretion, like that. So if you have that understanding, for me, it just made life so much easier where I don't have to focus on those things. I can just focus on me. Like, what do I love to do? I love to eat. Okay, cool. I can test and adjust on the foods that I love to eat, which aren't going to make me, sluggish and those kinds of things. And obviously back to the weight that I was. But then, like, just test and adjust with that. Because I don't have to worry about anything else. I don't have to worry about, oh my God, this, that, the third. The universe takes care of that. And then once I'm at that level where the universe, for that level, can't take care of it, I'm meeting the universe where it's at. Like I said, we're going to love, hug, kiss, do all that kind of cool stuff. And then it's going to run and leave me. And then I have to meet the universe at that next level. And then that's how we continue to go. What about you? What are your closing thoughts?
So Tammy said, I watch a lot of Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people on TikTok. That's where I get a lot of my understanding and have so much empathy for you. Oh, that's lovely.
Yeah.
I'm not big on TikTok. I still haven't figured out. I did 2 lives on there. And you only get like 15 seconds or something. Like, seriously, you want me to get something in a 15-second video? Like, oh my God. So Tammy says, my takeaway from this is that I need to create space in my life for people who are the same vibe for me. Absolutely.
Facts.
Big facts.
Big facts.
I guess if I was to leave with a thought or moving forward, it would very much be around that same sort of thing. And going that one step further in that we all know when we're getting stale, like we all start to know when we're getting a bit crusty, like when you're just like, I need to go and have a shower, like I'm getting a bit crusty. So we all know that. And I would say that when you get that feeling of being crusty, metaphorically as well as actually, it's literally time to move. Like, it's literally time to get up and do something. And I think that for the stuff that we talk about and for the people who are here listening to it, y'all know you're crusty because otherwise you wouldn't be here listening. True. And so it's time for you to actually go and move. Like, whether that's have a shower, whether that's just starting to
whatever it is.
Whatever it
feels like to you. Like, everyone has their own different things. Like, but I don't want to cut you off, so I'll be super quick. But like, your moving would be completely different to my moving. Absolutely. My moving would be completely different to Dad's moving, which would be completely different to yours. Nan's moving, like Christy's, Tammy, Bronwyn, Nat. Like, everyone has their own different moving, solely focused to you. Like, so, and it's normally, when you said that you need to move, it's normally the first thing that pops into your head. Oh, snap, I need to go and write some things. Go and write. Go and write right now. Go and get a book. Don't even know just write. Write some things down. And then I've had that conversation with people who are like, I don't know what to write. Write your name. Start there.
That's right.
Start there. Just put pen to paper. Like, doodle, whatever. Like, just exactly that. Whatever it is. Do it.
Tammy said, I was heading to the shower. I'm literally sitting in the bathroom because I don't want to miss anything.
Good, Tammy. Good.
See, there you go. Literally.
The universe works.
I know, because when you stand in the shower, all of the good thoughts come, all of the greatest ideas. Like, you are about to have a breakthrough in that shower, Tammy. I'm telling you, the universe is going, oh, we've got a good one. Oh, my gosh.
Tammy's about to... She's about to jump in the shower and she's about to go into a different dimension. I'm telling you, that's what's going to happen. Like, ideas are going to flow. It's going to be hot. It's going to be steamy, like all that good stuff. And you're just going to flow intergalactic. Some new things are going to pop into your head. It's going to click like that. So, Tammy, get back at us later on.
Yeah, let us know, because you're going to be like, oh my God, I had this idea about this
Facts.
thing, and then I thought about
Yep.
this, and then this dropped in, and oh my God, I just let that go. And oh my God, it's
Facts.
just going to be, we're so excited. I cannot believe that we could be so excited over somebody having a shower, but there you go.
Love it.
Because we know
Everyone,
that your world's about to change, Tammy, and we are
everyone,
excited.
everyone
Absolutely.
listening, go and have a shower
I was just
right
about
now.
to say, everybody else needs to go and have a shower. That's it.
Even if
I'm
you
just
got, even if you got out, go back in.
going to go back in again.
Go and get back in. Don't even care if you just watch yourself and you're clean. Get back in.
Go back in. That's it. I'm telling you right now. Ah, that's funny. So yeah, so that's where we're at. So if you got any benefit from this conversation, please make sure that you tag, share, and like it. Leave us a comment. Uh, feel free to reach out to us if you have any more questions about stuff, if you have comments, if you want to share something, if something stood out for you particularly.
Yeah, definitely. That would be cool. Like if you could, like obviously you can do it through like social media means, but even if you just hit us up on a text, 0467 885757 is my personal number. So if you want to send a message through there because you don't want to reach out through social media means, then by all means, hit us up there.
Yeah, absolutely. So hopefully you have found benefit from tonight. Thank you so much that you are here. We are always and in always grateful that you spend your time with us, because we do know that you could be anywhere in the world. Good night,
I'll just
Tammy.
want to hear with us. Not time.
You could be anywhere in the world and you're here with us. So we appreciate you. We love you. And we'll do this again soon. So make sure you reach out to us. Make sure you have a fantastic time. Get ready to go to the edge, because you're all about to up level. Love you
Love you
guys.
too.
Love you, love you, love you.